You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. Coming up here in just a bit, we're going to be visiting with Chad Corrie. Once again, he'll be in Sioux Falls this Saturday. We talked to him last month. He's got a couple of different books. He'll be at Barnes & Noble's this Saturday from 2 to 4. And we're going to chat with him about the books, and he'll be signing books and all of that fun stuff, so we'll chat about all of that. Also, don't forget this Saturday, also Bacon Fest, and we're going to be chatting with somebody from the Roller Dolls tomorrow about Bacon Fest. That is coming up on Saturday. And then also today, I've got not one, but two prizes to give away. We've got tickets to Williams and Ree, which are going to be in town. They're going to be here tomorrow night. And then Whitney Cummings will be here on Saturday night. It's all part of Comedy Weekend at Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort. And if you've not yet signed up, do it quick because we're giving away all of the rest of the tickets for both of those shows today. So we're going to give our first pair of Williams and Ree tickets away right now. Jeremy Anderson, congratulations to you. You are the first winner today. And then Whitney Cummings, we've got a pair of tickets we're going to give away right now as well. Dawn Wadzinski, congratulations to you. So we've got a couple more tickets for each of them that we'll be giving away today. Get signed up now at sunnyradio.com. Thanks for listening on a Thursday.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. Excited to visit once again with author Chad Corrie. He is from Minnesota, but he's going to be in Sioux Falls this Saturday at the Barnes & Noble, 41st and Louise. He'll be there from 2 till 4, and we're going to be talking about Shadow Regent today because that's the book that's coming out right now. He's got a couple of them, but tell me a little bit about the book Shadow Regent.
The Shadow Regent is a standalone fantasy book, so it's a great opportunity for people that want to give it a try, see what it's about, kind of step into it, get into it. Basically taking this fantasy world setting that was created for another series called the Wizard King Trilogy to another cosmic level, I guess you can say. We get to see the interaction with the gods and the cosmic things that are going on out there with the scheming and the plotting and stuff that comes after the aftermath of some things that took place in the Wizard King Trilogy. So you got some little cloak and dagger stuff, you got some romance stuff, you got some espionage, a little bit of everything going on, plus a little action adventure. So kind of the perfect mix, like I said, for a nice introductory book for this world setting. It's kind of more like a moderate flavor of fantasy for those that are like, don't really want to get too high fantasy, don't really want to get too low fantasy. It's just kind of a nice, like I said, introductory world spanning type of thing, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to this book, you've also got a graphic novel that's coming out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, graphic novel is called Sons of Ashgard. Ilmet in Elmgard is the subtitle. It's going to be a standalone story as well. This is about Viking squirrels. Kind of more like maybe Minnesota flavor, but it fits all over the Midwestern region too. The idea is that this particular story, Eric Redfur is his name. He's exiled from his former community, has to find a new home for himself, and he thinks he's found it, but ultimately he finds himself involved in a bunch of challenges and situations that he kind of finds himself hard-pressed to get out of, and through that process finds some new friends, and maybe he has to go find a new life outside of this community once everything is said and done. It's kind of a fun, I guess, animated type of look to the artwork and stuff. The aesthetic is very much like a traditional animated feel. Story is maybe geared toward more of an adult audience, but it's not like anything that, like a PG-13 thing, so it's safe for just about anyone to get into and enjoy.
So Eric the Redfur is a Viking squirrel. What inspired this little character?
The inspiration came in part from having my parents. They have a window out to the backyard, and they happen, for some reason, they feed a lot of squirrels, I guess. And I just happened to see this huge swath of just squirrels that appeared one day. Had to be at least maybe 13, 20 of them. I'd never seen that many. It was just a huge number moving around. It got me thinking about what would it be like if squirrels actually did kind of, live in these large groups and develop these societies and things like that. It was just kind of fun to add the Viking flavor to into it too. It kind of fits the motif, especially of where I'm from, Minnesota area. I kind of tie that in there. But no, it's a very fun, like I said, something different, something people can enjoy. It has a cartoony aspect to it, like I said, as far as the artwork goes, but it's very, I think, a punch with a good story, and it has a nice kind of redemptive arc to it because he's kind of kicked out for some things I don't want to get into, but he finds his redemption in the end, and that kind of leads him on this course to another type of story possibly in the future with his group of compadres.
How many books do you have in total? I'm on your website. It looks like you've got quite a few.
So far, we got the Wizard King trilogy, which came out finished, I should say, in 2021, I think. And then in 2022, we had the box set for that, the Wizard King trilogy. And then the new one coming out now is the Shadow Regent. And then we have the new one of the graphic novel, which is Sons of Ashgard. And then I signed a deal recently with Dark Horse Books, who's my publisher. They're the prose imprint of Dark Horse Comics. And they will be doing, I think, 2 books a year now for the next 2 or 3 years. I got a lot more in the pipeline. That's going to be a mixture of young adult stuff, short story collections, graphic novels, some other things. So a lot of fun stuff I can get into later on. But right now I'm kind of focused on, obviously, the Shadow Regent and Sons of Ashgard.
So when you're looking at that, you've got, hey, we've got this opportunity to do this number of books over this many years. Do you have ideas for all of those now? Or how in the world do you come up with the ideas to fulfill that?
Those particular books for that deal have already been written. So those are done. We're actually producing them now, I've seen some cover art. It's really kind of cool. So those have been written. Those are done. I have a lot more written up that have just not been picked up yet because obviously you don't want to flood your publisher like with all these books at once. Some of them aren't the best fit necessarily for this particular publisher. But yeah, I got comic series, I got graphic novels, I got more stories and things I'm working on even now. So it's just trying to keep busy, trying to keep myself focused on the next thing. So I try and get everything written ahead of time before I submit it to a publisher because I don't like what has happened in the past with other authors and things where maybe they start this big series and then they don't end up finishing it or they end up dying sometimes at the end of it, not getting it done. I'd rather have it completed and have it finished. And that way it not only helps me because I know what the story is, it's better to promote it, better to make sure it's actually a good finished story. It helps with the publishing too and the marketing. It's a better process for everyone involved. It's a whole lot less stressful because I'm not having to write things as I'm trying to produce it and edit the previous story and do the marketing for it. It's just a lot more enjoyable, I think, for everybody.
And I'm excited that you'll be at Barnes & Noble in Sioux Falls this Saturday from 2 till 4, and you'll be signing books for people there too, right? And,
if you already bought the books previously from the Wizard King trilogy, I will sign those as well, or anything else that has my name on it. I'll certainly sign that, not just Shadow Regent. So come on down. Like to meet you guys, interact, and have some fun that way too.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I appreciate it a bunch.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it too.
Again, our guest has been Chad Corrie, the author of The Shadow Regent. He also has a bunch of other fun books as well. He'll be in Sioux Falls at Barnes & Noble's at 41st and Louise in Sioux Falls this Saturday from 2 till 4. All of the details at facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page and Sunny 93.3. It was on this day, April 27th, 1951, an early morning blaze destroyed more than half of the Argus Leader building. A short circuit in a wire started a fire that would engulf the entire building in smoke before the fire department was called at 6:30 a.m. It would be 2 hours before the fire was subdued by 6 different streams of water pouring into the building. Thanks to the quick response of the firefighters in Sioux Falls, nobody was injured. Amazingly, the Argus Leader did not miss a single day of publication. With help from the Mitchell Daily Republic, the paper was printed every day, and with help from the local Sioux Falls VFW, office space was opened up to continue with business as usual. The Salvation Army provided free coffee and breakfast for firefighters who had been working hard all morning long on this day in 1951. This has been This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by SiouxFallsFunPage.com and Sunny 93.3.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, April 27th, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Equity markets tried to rebound Wednesday, but couldn't. Solid earnings from tech majors like Google and Microsoft and consumer favorites like Chipotle Mexican Grill were overshadowed by fears of growing bank contagion. The latest news from the First Republic scandal is the bank needs to raise more capital to avoid government takeover. And the $30 billion deposited by the U.S. largest banks may already be lost. With the FOMC slated to hike rates by another 25 basis points next week, the odds of another bank failure are growing. Thursday could see another day of decline. The market is cheering the better-than-expected earnings season, but fear of a recession is also growing. Reports from companies like UPS and Packaging Corporation of America are contrary to the strength shown by other companies and points to widespread economic slowing. The news of the week will come out tomorrow. The PCE price index is due at 8:30 a.m. and is a high-probability market-moving event. You can get the inside track at MarketBeatMinute.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.